It's April 15th, heading into town today to do the first official flight of the season. Gonna fly down to Ernest Sound to look for herring. I'll put the airplane in the water on the 8th, April 8th, which was exactly a week ago. I was supposed to fly on Friday, but then they canceled, which was just as well because I had to work on the airplane a little bit. We worked on the throttle, the mechanic worked on the throttle a little bit, the settings for the carburetor, it got it lined up a little better, but it pulled it loose from inside the instrument panel, so I had to get in there and anchor it back down again. So anyway, like I said, this is the first official flight of the season, first paid flight. We did fly on April 8th, took off about 6 o'clock in the morning to take it into town. It was a good morning, but it turned off blowing and snowing and crappy later that day, so we got it in just in time. After I got the throttle all fixed up, I did a test flight to make sure everything was working right, so I flew 20 minutes or so on Saturday. Well, it's a little foggy here this morning. All the rest of the cameras and stuff around the area look like they're pretty good. Everything but here at Petersburg, of course. Kind of amazing being able to look at all those cameras and see the weather in real time and see what it is. I know how many times I've taken off out of Petersburg, marginal conditions, and not knowing what we were going to get into. Well, sometimes we'd have to turn around, come back. Sometimes we'd turn into better weather. And usually it's better weather when you get out of Petersburg, but not always. Nice day yesterday, the first really good days we've had in a while. Temperatures have been in well, below freezing at night and up into the mid 30s or so, even into the low 40s in the daytime. We've been getting rain and snow, but yesterday it cleared off and actually the temperature got up to about 50 degrees, maybe a little higher than that. Well, we didn't turn the heater on all night long last night. It's the first time in probably 6 months or more that we haven't had the heater on overnight. Oh, it's supposed to get up into the 50s again today. It's in the high 30s right now. And then it's actually supposed to get up into the 60s in the next few days. So it's pretty warm compared to what it has been. I'm gonna have to get fuel this morning in the tank. I put the tank in the pickup the other day. Put the fuel hose on it last night and hooked up the electrical system to it. Put new fuel filters on it, so it's all ready to go. I'll just have to stop up here at the bulk plant and get some fuel, and then we'll go get the airplane ready to go. So the fog's lifted down here on the water. I could duck underneath it easy enough now, but it should be probably clear by the time we get ready to go. Takeoff is projected at 11 o'clock. Come on up on AML, Alaska Marine Lines. This is freight outfit, barge outfit. You can see all the containers there. This is how most of our supplies get brought into Petersburg on the barge. Forest Service, United States Forest Service, one of their offices here. Boat haul out there. People haul some of their smaller boats out for the winter, smaller fishing boats, commercial fishing boats mainly, in the winter time. I got Alaska Fiber over here on the left. That's a building supply place and an equipment rental place. Rockies Marine here on the right. The city of Kupernof over there on the other side of the Wrangell Narrows. It goes up into Petersburg Creek there, a little bit of sunshine showing up there. Coming up here on the left used to be the Nelbro Cannery that sold out to Trident, and then they've since sold out to a local guy who does shrimp and fish processing there, canning and smoking and stuff. On the left over here coming up is the ferry terminal, Alaska Marine Highway System ferry terminal. Don't get much use out of it anymore. Yeah, we go here on the right here and go into the fuel bulk plant and fill up our tank. Alright, I got fueled up, 114 gallons in my tank. I'm gonna head down to the dock here now. Tide's out, so it's a long ways down here. We get, I don't know what the tide change is today, but we get over 20 feet of tide change sometimes. So there's my friend Butch's hangar. I don't know, it's empty now. He passed away late last summer. So anyway, it's kind of lonely coming down here without him here anymore. And then we got the other hangar there. That was Pacific Wings last year when I came down. Well, they went out of business because of the COVID and the price of insurance. And they had airplanes up at the airport, 2 185 amphibs, as well as the Beaver down here. And now we've got, a guy bought the Beaver in the hangar, and he's got it all fixed up now and is operating it. Hopefully he can do well. Things are still kind of messed up because of the COVID stuff, and then the Forest Service is screwing around with their requirements for flying for airplanes. They don't want to fly any airplanes but their own. They're having all kinds of requirements they've never had before. Makes it tough for individuals, even companies, to comply with their new regulations. I'll park here while I go down and pre-flight the airplane. The tide's out. I don't know whether that'll show up here or not without the right lens on there, but it's only about 6 feet deep here right now. Okay, I'm gonna go down and pre-flight the airplane. May 16th today, another beautiful day, just like yesterday. And we're gonna go flying again. Gonna do the same thing, so I'm probably not gonna record a whole lot of it, or at least post a whole lot of the recording. But we're still going down to Ernst Sound to do herring survey. Didn't see a whole lot yesterday, a little bit in one spot. They were spawning a little bit, but not what we expected, so I'm gonna go try it again today and see if we see anything more or see if they're done. But anyway, the beautiful day again. It's, well, in the mid 50s here, and we've still got snow piled up in the piles, but it's going pretty fast. Any place that's in the open, in the muskeg and stuff like that, it's going pretty fast. It's supposed to be into the 60s the next couple of days. So I'm going to go ahead and record this first part of it and kind of put it in out of sequence in my video when I recorded, because I dropped the camera yesterday, knocked the battery off, and it went, of course, into the salt water, which instantly ruined it. And even though the tide was out and the water was low, I could have recovered it, but there's not much point in it. It was ruined as soon as it hit the salt water. I was afraid the camera was ruined too, but it seems to be working fine. Just a new battery on it. Well, anyway, I didn't get everything recorded yesterday that I wanted to on the trip down on the seaplane ramp and stuff. I'll try to do a little better job today and splice this into the rest of it when I edit it in. I'll pick up here where I left off yesterday. This is the fuel rack over here on the right. That's where I got the avgas. And I got Petro 1, they call it now. It was Southeast Island Fuels, but it's a gas station. One of the two gas stations. The Petro, the bulk plant's right here. We're turning down. Now this over here is Wecon Enterprises. He does diesel engine repairs. And the Coast Guard office barrack, they're not barracks, they have housing, but the Coast Guard is there, and the ships are tied up down there on the dock. We got water, low water again today, so we got to go down the ramp here. Whoa!
They're taking video.
Yeah, of us crashing.
Yeah, midair. Near miss.
You flying today?
Yeah, I'm taking a guy to, taking Bob Murray to Hobart at 3:30.
Oh yeah? In a few hours, that water will be all the way up underneath that building up there. That fellow I was just talking to up at the top of the ramp, this is his hangar now. He bought it last year, and his airplane, the Beaver, did a lot of work on the hangar. It was the floats underneath it and stuff were getting pretty ratty, and it was kind of sinking. It wasn't in danger of sinking yet, but it was pretty low in the water, so they worked on it all summer last year and into the fall and got new floats underneath it and got the old flotation. There was red cedar logs underneath it before for flotation, and then a whole bunch of styrofoam that had been put under at different times and stuff like that. But he got the hangar all fixed up. It's really nice now. He's operating at the Beaver, having a tough time because the Forest Service is screwing up on their flight inspections on them and the insurance requirements. I don't know what all he was telling me about it, but it's pretty onerous on there, and nobody can fly. So I guess he's getting carded and he's going to fly for this year. They're getting some kind of a waiver, but oh, there's the airplane. It's been modified. It's got extended engine mount on the front there, so the engine sticks out farther than the back. The baggage compartment has been extended back, and we've got big double doors now on the back there. Originally it just had the one cargo door right there with the triangular shape in it, and then of course there's a pilot door and a co-pilot door, but there's two doors on the side that come standard on the Beavers. That triangular shaped window, that door, that was designed by de Havilland to fit a 50-gallon drum in. The airplane was designed to be a bush plane, but this has been modified, extra seats put in it, and then those big double doors behind it. It's got an extra capacity, extra load capacity. I don't remember what he said. It was like 6,000 pounds now, 5,800 pounds, something like that on it, but it's more than what it used to be. It's a good airplane, and he's got new floats coming for it, new Aeroset floats, which are fiberglass. Those floats there came on that airplane, and they're getting a little bit tired, so he's getting new floats for it. So That'll be really nice. And there we go, down there. There's my airplane there, the Cub, sitting there ready to go. So I got to get down there and go get it pre-flighted. Well, basically the pre-flight on it is going to be the same thing as what I've done in the past. I've videos and stuff showing it last year. Yesterday I had a little bit more to do on it because I had the wing covers on it, protected from the ice and snow, but I took those off yesterday and didn't put them back on because we're not supposed to get any snow or ice, frost or anything like that for a while. And by the time we fly in the afternoon, the sun's been on it for several hours, so any frost would be melted off anyway. It's kind of a pain to put the wing covers on there with it on floats because it's up pretty high, and then it's on the ramp, so you get down there on that ramp, it gets to be a pain to get in there to put the wing covers on. But anyway, I got to go get the airplane pre-flighted and ready to go. Well, I got to start on the pre-flight, check the oil, put a quart of oil in it, check the fuel sumps, pump the floats out, the forward sections of the floats, the rear sections of the floats, the rear two compartments on each float. I don't pump those out until I put the airplane down in the water. Is where they're sitting now, the water runs away from the pump outs where the hose pickups are in it. The front ones, the forward sections, the water all runs back to the pickup when it's sitting at an angle like that. So I've checked it over that way. I let it run up a little bit. I always run it up on the ramp here. I let it idle, warm up, sitting on the ramp, and then do a run up on the ramp. There's two good reasons for that. One is that idling propeller forms a vortex in the water if it's down on the water, and it picks up water into the prop and causes prop erosion, pits and stuff in the prop. And it's even worse when you run it up. And the other thing is, if there's a problem with the engine and it doesn't run up smoothly, then it's almost impossible to get it back up on the ramp to where you can work on it if the engine's not running right. So anyway, I run it up right there on the ramp, warm it up there a little bit, and then I'll go run it up. And if it all checks out, then I'll push it in the water and continue to do my pre-flight inspection, walk around, do the wings, the ailerons, flaps, tail, pump out the rear of the float compartments and stuff, and then we'll bring it over here to the dock. Now the engine's all warmed up, it checked out good, everything on it, everything checks out good, pre-flight's all done. I gotta fuel it up for the trip we're gonna make today, and it's gonna be about 2.5 hours. It'll actually be just a little over 2 hours. So I've got to put fuel in it. I'll fill up the left tank and put a little bit in the right tank, enough so that I've got 3 hours of fuel on board. I don't need to tanker a whole bunch of fuel, and we're not expecting any weather problems, so we'll be able to fly straight down there and back. If we had to divert around and fly around some areas, then it would take more because it'd take a little longer. But anyhow, I'll get the fuel in there. Well, we're all fueled up and ready to go. The only thing else that I would ordinarily do here would be to clean the windows, polish those up, and they're in pretty good shape, so I'm not going to do that. I got a couple other little things to do. I got to put new batteries in the headsets for the back seater. I got to get my polishing rags, my window rags in there. Sometimes you get foggy inside and stuff, and if you don't have the soft rags in there, guys start whopping them down with their hands or paper towel or something, and then it scratches the windows all up. So anyway, like I said, a couple little things to do and we're ready to go. And I got 15 minutes left to go before my ride shows up here.